When your kids are young, it's easy to create that homeschool supply list. Good toys, some math manipulatives, our much beloved window markers. There's a certain nostalgia about buying kids the same crayons that we used when we were young. And supplies like math manipulatives are pretty universal. And frankly, kids' supplies are just cute. And then comes high school. Who has nostalgia for a protractor or college-ruled notebooks? And the sticker shock is anything but cute. I'm Tricia, and I'm ushering my third kiddo into high school. And while there are a lot of supplies that are expensive and pretty specific, today I'm going to share with you a few that are universal and inexpensive. Books, of course, are a pretty universal part of most homeschools, and a good library system makes that so much easier. And as libraries adjust to today's needs and demands, you find a lot more than just books at your local library. If you haven't checked your local library out for a while, you really should. Our headquarters library, in fact, just reopened one floor that they made for kids and teens that has things like air hockey and big gathering tables and things that would have been completely unheard of in my day, because the library of my youth was a pin drop quiet kind of place, and that's no longer the case in many places. Libraries today also have things like studios for your kids to record for a YouTube channel, 3D printmakers, instruments you can rent, museum passes that you can check out for the local locations, attractions. Even if your kiddo isn't a bookworm, they may just find a place for themselves at the library in something like an anime or crafting club, after school hangouts, movie nights. Definitely check out the library. But as for the books, if you are someplace that doesn't have a good local system or an interlibrary loan system, hop over onto Google and search for out-of-resident library cards. There are many libraries across the country now that offer a chance for people to get a card who don't live in the area to access the digital products like their audiobooks and ebooks. We get one through the Charlotte, North Carolina library that's $45 for a year. And I get so many options. It's a far better deal than purchasing something like Audible or Kindle Unlimited. Brooklyn, New York has one that's free for teenagers. So just pop that into your Google search and see what you can find for you. Today I'm joining with other homeschool moms in a collaboration hosted by CJ from Homeschooling High School and Stephanie from Schultz Sweetie Homeschool. So when you're done with this video, be sure to check out the list below for all sorts of other ideas of must-have supplies for your homeschool. Now by high school, your kiddo, if they haven't already, should be beginning to plan out their days and their weeks. It gives them a sense of responsibility over their education, helps them learn to manage time while you're there to guide them. But what that looks like for your kiddo is going to be different than what it looks like for my kiddo or the next viewer's kiddo, or frankly, probably your other kiddos as well. But which one? It's going to depend on your kiddo. And that's such an unsatisfying answer. When my daughter started high school, there were some things I just wanted someone to tell me, this is the way to do it. This is the product you need. Well, it doesn't work like that. But I can tell you what's been working for my kiddos. Elizabeth used plum paper planners, and she really liked those. They were a little more expensive, but we bought it on sale, and since it was working for her, we went with it. Ben uses Microsoft's OneNote, which is free. I love that. I love the price. The product itself is great. You guys have probably heard me talk about this many times if you've been with me for a while. I love the flexibility of OneNote. Matthew, this year, he's an 8th grader, 9th grade in the fall, has been using Google Sheets and Homeschool Panda. Homeschool Panda is paid, but obviously Google Sheets is free, and I think we're switching to Google Sheets entirely next year. It would be great if all of my kiddos had one system that worked for them, but they don't. And what I want for them is to find the planning system that works for their brain. So that's what we do. Between online classes, watching videos, and listening to music, my teens seem to have headphones permanently attached to their heads. We really like these over-the-ear headphones from Amazon. They are about $40, super cushy. I have a pair, Matthew has a pair, Elizabeth has a pair. They've held up well. Our oldest pair is about 3.5 years old, and they're still going strong. They're wireless and Bluetooth, which makes it easy to pair with multiple devices, take it in the car, however we need to use them. But they aren't very packable. So when we need some to go in a backpack or such, we really like these headphones from Tozo. They're about $25 on Amazon, and they have 2 different models. The ones I like are the classic, but the ones that Ben and Elizabeth like, and my husband, are shaped more like Apple's AirPods. They pair with both Apple and Android devices. Matthew uses his on his desktop. I use mine on my laptop. I love them. They fit comfortably, and they are so inexpensive. I may now be old in the homeschool world, but I am not word processor old. I was lucky enough to have Microsoft Word when I went to college. Not in high school, but we did have it in college. And I loved the spell check. But it didn't catch things like punctuation. Sometimes the wrong word choice, and it sure didn't tell me if I ended a sentence with a preposition. And that's why we have Grammarly installed on all of our devices. I pay for the premium version because I use it for work, but even the free version is fantastic for helping your kiddos catch all those things. As a rule, I have my kids turn it off while they're writing and the first round or 2 of editing because I do want them to develop that skill. But I'm also a big believer in leaning into technology because I remember when my teachers would say, you won't always have a calculator with you, so you've got to learn your multiplication facts. And we see how that turned out. And speaking of calculators, we really like these Texas Instrument calculators. My daughter had it recommended to her when she took her first online math class in 7th grade, and 8 years later, she's still using it. Both of my boys have had them now. They're about $15 on Amazon, and you can find them for a similar or slightly lower price with back-to-school sales at Target or the office supply stores. And now that we've covered school supplies, what else do I wish I knew about homeschooling and parenting teens? Click on the video on your screen, and I will see you over there.